exclusively from Eli's bedroom. Dog's Vanek and Eli. Yeah. Back like a madman with them black mags, a white ass and some dagger sharp zigzag swag lyrically. All cats should be respecting me. Fly guy get you high like I was ecstasy. Technically brilliant, savant, lyrical blunderbuss. You can find my name and definition in the dictionary on the marvelous. I might spark and just spark the cut. If you wonder what I want from rap, nothing but the hate and love. And when push comes to shove, you can find me grinding harder than those above me. There's not enough who love me. Radio won't plug me, my style's too ugly. When I kick the raps raw, and when the song is too overdone, so hope to find rapport. They hope I find the door with the neon light flashing. Exit, get kicked from any lyrical subject matter. My brain spatter, so why y'all hating on a hermit backpacker? Cruise the burbs, use the curb as my headrest. Watch and learn to discern where to head next. Best bet, I've had my neck checked. I'm a problem child, passive exterior. My interior acts wild or something like.
What do I think of Docs? Dude is definitely one of the most in-your-face people I've ever come across.
This is one thing I get a lot. Like, damn, I heard you're a Christian, but you rap. How does that work? I get this so much, and it's like, I don't want to kill baby Jesus because I rap. Like, and that's the thing. Like when you break it down like that. It sounds stupid, but those are the I've lost the words.
I first heard of Docs when I called up Eli on the phone and he answered and went on this 20-minute rant about how he's from the hood. And I didn't know what to say. I was quite speechless. And I thought this guy was a complete dickhead. And anyway, I met him a few days later and he seemed kind of cool, he seemed pretty pulled back, but like, seemed like there was so much that needed to come out. I don't know how to explain it. He's just a very eccentric guy, like, you know. But you know, at the end of the day, he's got a really cool heart. And like, he's a good bloke and he's a seriously talented guy, but at the same time being a complete dickhead.
I was out of school. I'd taken a gap year. Mum was on my back to get a job. I'd got a job at a cafe working boring, generic, you know, unqualified person type stuff. And then Mum had been invited through her work, through CBM to, sorry as I kill this person while talking about disabled care, had been invited to her work to a training day centering around manual lifting and handling of people who need that, and it wasn't relevant to her job, and she said, you go and you get a job from it. That's how blunt it was. And so I went to this training and we had the day, learned how to operate hoists, learned how to, you know, lift people as set down by DHS, etc, etc. There were 2 coordinators there and I said I want an interview, and I got an interview, and that's how it started.
The gig at ID Gaff, I mean, we've been gigging pretty rigorously over the past couple months, 3 months or so, and you know, we've got heaps more coming up, but basically ID Gaff came to us and said, you know, please put on a night, and so now we've got like 5 artists with us headlining, Mose and the Family headlining, Cryptic, Tino, Bottleneck DJs, and Men Without Pants.
I was due to open for Mose and the Family this Saturday night at ID Gaff, which is a bar on Hoddle Street. It's not the best of venues, like we've done better venues, but gig's a gig, promotion's promotion. I was down to do that, and I was keen to have a mate of mine come with because he's got cerebral palsy, and that'd be, you know, cool to get him to say hi on this. And he was real mad keen, like real keen. And at the same time I'm doing a recreational camp with him, so that means we'll be in Phillip Island. So I confirmed it with him, I confirmed it with the other participants, I confirmed it with my organisation, I confirmed it with his mum. Everything checked out, everything was cool. So I called the gig and confirmed, and I locked myself in. And by doing that, I locked myself in with Scott. Then my organization gets back to me and says, actually, we've figured out that you being on stage is a breach of care if you're also caring at the same time. And I was like, okay, why? Because Scott regularly sits on his own for hours and hours and hours and hours. He doesn't require constant care. His care is purely physical. Everyone involved knows that, logically speaking, nothing would go wrong. It's just there are rules and there are rules, and there are certain things that you can and cannot do. So, being that the way it was, the way I got locked in, means that I can't do the gig at all. Not only that, but we can't spectate. We can't be in the audience because they're saying it's too far away, which sucks, man. Like, heartbreak. 808s and heartbreak.
Every rapper in the joint rocks up in his baggy jeans, big white tee and fitted, and no one can tell the difference between anyone anymore. So you have to go and figure out what you're gonna do to attract the attention of the lowest common denominator cats. The cats who are so, you know, spoon-fed entertainment, spoon-fed from the TV, and everything is given to you and served to you on a plate that you've become so used to not needing to look for anything yourself. So unless I come out with my track and just straight bitch slap you across the jaw with it and take out a couple teeth, you're not gonna pay attention. I need to be taking teeth. Artists need to be taking teeth, or they're not gonna be listened to.
Scotty has athetoid cerebral palsy, which is level 5. Higher, lower, 5. There are only 5 levels of athetoid cerebral palsy, and that measures the severity of the cerebral palsy. So, with Scott's form of the condition, the neuron firing in his brain does the exact opposite that he's trying to get it to do. So that often means that's like a huge amount of rigidity. He can't relax. If something is, you know, his arms are strapped into his chair because he'll hit himself in the head. He has this here so he doesn't scratch himself, that sort of stuff. So and it extends pretty much completely. He's got very little reliable control that he can fully guarantee will work all the time. So the one thing that we rely on is show him yes. So looking up is yes, and looking down is no, and that's it. So it's yes and no. Communicating with Scotty means you have to do a lot of the talking yourself, and if he wants to tell you something, it's just a lot of closed-ended questions. So ones that elicit a yes or no response until you get there. So it takes a bit of time, but no, it's good. You get better at it the longer you know him. It comes natural now. I don't ask him. I used to always ask him open-ended questions, and he'd just look at me like I was a dumbass until I realised he couldn't answer them. So yeah, watching something retarded on TV. I can't remember. Oh yeah, we're watching UFC. We're watching the UFC, and we're just sitting there watching Rampage Jackson lay into Forrest Griffin, and you know, oh, who was it? Lights Out, Chris Lytle and Josh Koscheck, and Koscheck just opens up Lytle's head, and he's just literally painting the canvas. Like, there's so much blood. And we're in this house with 4 girls, and they're sitting there going, oh no, I'm gonna watch Suddenly Famous, because that's the movie I'm into. And me and Scott are like, nah, UFC, and we're watching this blood pouring out everywhere, and just absolutely epic. And I just look over at Scotty and I go, you know what, mate, you're one of my best friends. This is freaking awesome. No one else will watch UFC with me. Watching UFC is pretty sick. But I mean, we get on like crazy, me and Scott. I've spent you know, weeks and weeks and weeks with this guy, and yeah, he's one of the few guys that I don't mind spending massive amounts of time with. So, and vice versa. You hate me? Yeah, there you go. If you give it in the reverse, If you say you think I'm a dickhead, sometimes. Generally, I'm okay. Don't mind me so much. Thought I was a wanker when we first met. Yeah. Took a little while to get used to me. Scotty's literally one of the most valuable people I think I've got in my life. All sentiment, no homo. But yeah. I think in the rap community as well, people guys like Scott get made fun of a lot. And that's always hard when, you know, I'm associated with people who hear the nature of my work after, you know, listening to all my music and, you know, oh, you look after retards, and sort of, that's not it at all. Like, I think there's so much that gets lost on people when they're closed-minded, and that's one of the saddest things, is that someone will be written off just by a condition that they couldn't control themselves. He was born with it, he didn't choose it. Yeah, if I can get all soppy and stuff right now. I don't know if you want to use that, if you want to make me look hardcore and stuff, but I'm still hard as hell, man. I'll write you a 16 and rip your head off, but...